Hi, this is the Marshall Haze 15, part of the Marshall Haze range. We're going to talk about this amp. I'm going to show you how it all works. The Haze 15 is a 15-watt all-valve head, which contains 2 channels and built-in effects. For what you're going to be hearing, we're running it through the specially designed Haze cabs. Each of these cabs is a 1x12 cab, giving it this mini stack look. The speakers inside these cabinets have been designed in conjunction with Celestion, and we've come up with a Celestion marquee speaker specifically for this range. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to check out across the front panel and have a look at all the controls that are within this amp. Then we're going to start looking at some of the main sounds you can get from it. And finishing up, we're going to be looking at the built-in effects section. So looking at the panel going from right to left, firstly you've got your normal channel, which consists of just a volume control. Next to that you've got 2 buttons. One of them is to change your channel and the other one is a bright switch. Then next to that, the 2 controls are the main, next 2 controls are the main overdrive controls, which consist of volume and gain. Then you've got your regular Marshall EQ section, which consists of bass, middle and treble. And then it's onto the effects section. Firstly, you've on the right hand side you've got your reverb level, which is on its own independent pot. Then you've got your effect control for your effect depth, and then the control to actually adjust the effect that you're using. Finally, just at the end there, you've got this little black button, and this is how you dial up your built-in effects, which we'll talk about in a little while. So let's get on to making some sounds. So as I said, this is an all-valve amp. It's 15 watts, so it's good because it means you can control it a little bit more in terms of volume, but you can actually drive the amp, and it doesn't get too loud. And you'll hear it's full of that classic Marshall tone. First up, what I've done is we're just going to be looking at the normal channel. It's just as it is, and this is just on about number 1 or 2 of the normal channel, and you get this nice kind of clean sound. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in the bright switch now so you can hear the difference. So the sound that you just heard was this. And now by pressing the bright switch in, it just, as it says, makes everything, the whole sound brighter and turns it to this. So even if you've got a more darker sounding guitar like the one I'm playing here, you can liven that sound up by using the bright control, which is really useful. Obviously, depending on which guitars you use, it's good to experiment with this bright control, which does work on both the normal channel which we're on and the overdrive channel, which we're going to move to in a minute. So taking the bright control back out now, I'm going to start turning the volume up on the normal channel. This is on about 1/3, and you'll hear the sound is starting to break up now, like a good old valve amp would. What I'm going to do now is turn it up to about 2/3 so you can hear how much more gain there is in this channel. And finally, I'm going to wind the volume on this all the way up so you can hear how much gain there is in there. So as you can hear, all the sounds that you've heard so far that I've been getting from this amp has been from the first channel. What we're going to do now is move on to the overdrive channel, where you have a little bit more flexibility. First off, the overdrive channel is, you can access it by just pressing the channel control that I mentioned earlier. And what I've done is, obviously I'm leaving the EQs all the same. Incidentally, these EQs are with bass on 2/3, middle on 2/3, and treble on just over half. And what I'm going to do now with the overdrive is I've set the actual volume of the overdrive channel on just 1/4, and I'm going to bring the gain down to 1/4 as well, so you can hear just how much gain there is in the different stages on here. Now, first and foremost, the overdrive channel is voiced completely differently to the normal channel, so it gives you the flexibility of having different sounds, but still retains all that valve tone that you'd expect. So this is overdrive channel, volume on 1/4 and gain on 1/4. And also, just to let you know how it's sounding here with the bright switch. And once again, without the bright switch. All right, so now moving on with the gain control, I'm going to move it up to half on here. You can hear that it's feeding back nicely as you would expect, and that's with the gain just on half. So just to give you an idea of how much gain there is in this channel, I'm just going to now move it to flat out. So this is absolute maximum gain on the overdrive channel, but still with the volume control on just 1/4. So there you go. There's absolutely stacks of gain within this amp on the overdrive channel, more perhaps than you'd need. But it's amazing that you can do all this, and this amp is just 15 watts. So what we're